that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to the Tavern, everyone. I am Travis Sivart, author extraordinaire with the most amazing sci-fi and fantasy I've ever had in my pants. My vices tonight are a wickedly clever pain in my foot. We won't go with wit. And I'm going to be drinking a little Blade and Bow bourbon. So it comes with a key. Yeah. What are you, Ed? What do you got? What are you doing? What do you got?
I'm working on still this Sonoma triple finish Woodford Reserve.
Nice.
It's very yummy. It was finished in a Pinot Noir barrel.
Your favorite,
Yeah. Love it.
Let's do a toast. You know what? Let's do a toast. Here's to the miracle of 50 years. However you take that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I need more.
That's what she said. So.
No, she never says that to me.
Yeah, Andrea's not with us for this episode. She had other obligations. No, she was tired and didn't want to fucking people tonight. So, that's all good.
Well, I told him, Joe said he likes this duo, and I said normally it's a threesome, and then I changed that to a trio. But yeah,
right. Yeah, definitely. Do we have any stories from this week that happened? Anything we need to talk about? You have anything good at work?
Nothing good. Nothing. Stupid stories from work this week, and
anything you could talk about?
I would love to, but the show has come a little popular with my workmates, so no.
Well, hello to all of Ed's fellow employees or whatever. Yeah, great to have you here in the tavern. And behind the scenes, he talks nothing but good stuff about you. And what an incredible job you're doing.
Just don't go back and listen to any of the past episodes, okay?
Absolutely not. We're only up to episode 507 or something, so there's way too much to go back and look at anyway. You don't want to do all that.
No.
So, we did the toast. I guess we can get what the topic is. So, you remember as we were growing up, and just for a reference for everybody, hopefully no spoilers here, Ed was born in the 60s. I was born in the 70s.
Yeah.
Ed, late 60s, me, early 70s. So...
64.
Oh.
I'm a boomer. Last year, the boomers, baby.
My bad. 71 for me. So I'm not shy. I'm not too worried about it. But I was thinking there was 5 years between us. Thus, you were at like 66. But apparently now there's 7 years. And guess it's me and Teresa's. There's like exactly 10 years or something, right?
I still love you, baby.
Well, thank you.
Teresa was born in 60. Yeah.
60. So, yeah, 11 years. I have no fucking clue how old you people are. You people.
What people?
My people, baby. Right here every fucking week. My people. Right. Okay. So as we were growing up, they would show these either old movies or movies about the olden days, like the 1920s and 1930s. You'd have these great spy flicks or these gangster movies or whatever. And they would talk about like the 20s and 30s, like our grandparents were kids back then and they were growing up during the Depression and they, all this. And then they were not old enough to remember flappers and the stuff that adults were doing, but they remembered the Great Depression and the food scarcity and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
Something I've come to realize, because that was about 50 years
About
before
50 years.
we were born.
The old black and whites, baby.
Right now, the 60s and 70s, the 1960s and the 1970s are the new 1920s and 1930s.
Yep,
If you look at all the TV shows that are coming out about gangsters and stuff, they're all set in the 60s and 70s.
yep. Yeah, Sopranos. Well, I think the Sopranos was actually later,
I think
but
Sopranos was modern, wasn't it?
yeah, I
Like,
think that was actually modern. But the movies about Bumpy Johnson. There's a TV show even about Bumpy Johnson uh, that comes up through into the '60s when he passed away.
I know there was a mostly black cast mobster thing, which was talking about the 60s and 70s, and like Chris Rock was in it. But it had in the characters, like Muhammad Ali and Don King was in it, and they were talking
Uh,
about the Black Vegas mob.
mhm.
And there's another show out called Duster that takes place in that era, and it's just the olden days. Not even like, oh, these days were, they're
Oh
vintage or
man,
retro. These are like the olden days. Like we
days.
are our grandparents' age
Yep.
now. And that when we were growing
Yeah.
up, this is how how old our grandparents were.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much we have with this topic, but I felt like it was interesting to realize. Okay, coming up, the 50s were old. Like,
Right.
we watched Happy Days and stuff when, oh, way back then, before I was
Way back in
alive.
50. Yeah. Rock and roll's birth.
And the 20s and 30s were that much further past the 50s.
And now they're doing disco's birth.
Oh, we'll get Rap's birth soon, too, because Rap
Rap's
came in
birth
at the
soon.
end of the 70s.
And yeah, early 80s, 70s, early 80s.
And
Yep.
Metallica, the mid 70s, or not Metallica, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Metal. I just,
Metal. Metal.
yeah.
But yeah.
Um, so yeah, we'll get that soon too. Is the 80s?
Yeah, I came to a harsh realization, and I don't know if I've actually said it on a past episode of the show or not, but born in 1964, my birthday is December 7th. And so
Hmm.
Pearl Harbor was a big thing when I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid. Every December 7th, my dad had to watch Tor. And to me, Pearl Harbor was something that happened a long time ago in 1940, born in
Right.
1960, you know. And I sit down on my birthday this year and I actually watched Tor. And the harsh reality hit me that when I was born, I was closer to the date of Pearl Harbor than I am to my actual birthday day. It's like,
Right.
fuck, I'm old.
Yeah. When you were born, you were closer to Pearl Harbor than you are now to 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah. Well, that was very 70s phrasing of you. Back in the olden days.
Way back in the 1900s.
Yeah, it's so the big thing I'm looking at here is and Jamie says, holy crap, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Oh shit.
Right. Right. It's yeah, and Jamie, I think you're right about in the middle. It's almost if you were born in 75,
50.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
takes it back to 50. So, but the kids, and by that I mean adults, that we're talking to now that are just becoming drinking age or whatever, they are the same age that we were when we thought the 20s and 30s were like the olden days.
The olden days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they were just like not even on our radar. They were almost mythical in the fog of history that we had it in, where the history books, the 20s and 30s are maybe a chapter, and that covers everything.
Everything.
after 1918 when World War II or World War One ended, up to when World War II started to ramp up. It's like
Right.
all one chapter in a history book.
Yeah.
Does that mean our developing decades, the decades we developed in, are nothing more than a single chapter or less?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really curious what they teach about the 60s and 70s in history books, because you got like the Korean War and Vietnam War, and then
Korea, Vietnam, Woodstock.
I guess that might be in the history books. And Jamie says, I mean, I remember my grandparents all being my age, so I guess that makes sense. Right, right.
Right.
I mean, my mother was 26 years older than me, and she was the firstborn of her siblings, so her mother was 18 or 20 when she was born, so she just would have been late 40s, early 50s when I was born. So the era I'm thinking of, probably preteen for me, or even early teen, yeah, my mother would have been right around 60. My grandmother, not my mother. So, yeah, there we go. My mother would have been in her mid 30s.
Well, I remember, and Teresa and I have talked about this a few times. I remember growing up as a kid, 50 years old was old.
Yeah.
And here I am sitting at 60, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you feel old? And I'm not talking about the aches and pains, but in general, do you feel old?
And that's the thing. I don't, outside of the aches and pains
Right.
in general. I don't. I still see myself today, not entirely, but
Mm-hmm.
more knowledge. I still see myself today as the same as when I was 20.
Right.
People say act your age, but I don't know.
I mean, if we look back at Archie Bunker, who is like below the age of 50, the character when All in the Family came out, or the Golden Girls, who were all, I think the oldest one was just over 60, and the youngest
Yeah,
one
and
was
they're all gone
right
now.
around 50. But if we look at these characters in these shows we watched, how much older than us did they look?
They appeared,
Right,
right?
right. And now I like to tell people, hey, if you ever break your body, whether it's a bone or a tendon or whatever, it never heals as well as it was originally. You might not
Yeah.
notice it, but in 20, 30 years, you're going to be like, I know why that hurts. And that's what I'm getting. But yeah, I don't feel old when it comes
Mhm.
to attitude. You know what I realized the other day, though? Okay, what were you watching and idolizing and talking about when you were a single digit or in your teens? For example, me, it was Star Wars. I was
Star Wars. I was 12 years old when A New Hope came out.
right. So I was
Yeah.
watching Star Wars, playing with the action figures, and my parents would be like, I don't know what character that is. Okay. That's what that ship is. That's great.
That's great.
Like I fucking care. I paid. By the way, did you see the ad I posted for like the original where the ad at was $36?
Yes, that
And
was incredible. A buck 50 for a figure.
yeah, and the
One of the
Wampa
little,
was
yeah,
like $6, and I'm just like,
because that was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I remember a buck 50 for the
right,
little short figures, and that was a lot of money back then.
right. So I was thinking about Star Wars and stuff. Now people, Jamie says I was obsessed
Indiana
with.
Jones and the Bengals.
I feel like
Look like an Egyptian.
I feel like the two could do a show together. um, but I realized nowadays, in this decade, there's so much anime out there that everybody's so involved with and in depth with, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's great. Is that what that is? Is that who that character is? Is that what that sword is? And it was just like a week ago I came to realize, oh fuck, that's how people were with Star Wars who were this age.
Mhm,
They
mhm,
just
mhm.
didn't have the time and the energy to learn the characters' names and watch. Of course, there's such a huge amount of content to watch now when it comes to any show or
Any show. Yeah.
comic or book series or whatever. Oh, I'm going to tangent real quick, okay? So I don't know if you know this, Ed, but I'm a writer. And I write fantasy and sci-fi.
I've heard that a time or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I go to the bestseller list and see who's racking it up. And almost always it's the Amazon top 100. And I'll look at, here's like all the books, here's fantasy, here's sci-fi, whatever. And I'll move up the categories from my specialized genre and category up to every book Amazon sells and see what the bestseller is. Now, usually when looking at fantasy and sci-fi, there would be Harry Potter was up there, Tolkien. If there was a new Narnia movie out, you'd watch that book come up and go down. Michael Crichton with Jurassic Park, especially if there's a new movie, blah, blah, blah. I went on there yesterday, day before, I think it was yesterday, and I looked at these lists. Most of the top spaces, now you might not recognize some of these names, some of our viewers will. Most of those top positions were filled by indie authors. One's not going through your big 5 publishing companies or big 4, whatever we have now. But like Matt Dinniman, who does Dungeon Crawler Carl, Rebecca Yaros with her Fourth Wing series, Sarah J. Maas with her Court of Thorn and Roses. Yeah. And so on and so forth. I'm seeing so many independent authors up there now. And it gives me such hope.
Gives you hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because where you almost had to be a traditionally published author to run up those lists, now it's a different story. Independents not only are getting on there regularly, but they're dominating that list. That's a tangent. That's all I got on that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
So, we got anything else to say about a?
Well, yeah. I dating myself is the big thing now, and I don't mean going out with me,
Right?
Although I'd be an excellent person to go out with. But movie lines from back in our day, somebody will say something, and I'll quote a movie line, and then they're standing there looking at me like, "Yeah, you probably don't remember that, do you?" And I remember walking into a convenience store about a year or so ago, and I walked in and was like, "You guys got a Most machine here?" And they're looking at me like, it's like, "Excuse me, an ATM, okay?" And I remember working a contract site once, and somebody comes to the gate and they're asking, I'm looking for this guy. I can't pronounce his name. And I said the guy's name, and it was like, big tall guy that looks like Lurch. And they looked at me and they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "You don't know who Lurch is?" It's like, God damn, I'm getting old.
Yeah, pop culture has moved on. And
yes.
I've raised my son, so I tried to give him a fair share of my pop culture that is before his time. Well, whether it's Star Wars or Princess Bride or Addams Family or any of these things, I want him to have a frame of reference beyond his own scope of experience. Because I had that as a kid. I watched older movies. Nick at Night gave me a lot of exposure to stuff that I normally wouldn't have been able to see. Yeah, I feel like it broadens you. It gives you more footing with people who you don't know, in the sense of you could bond with them easier and still got something in common. Bree here in chat says, "Nah, you guys aren't old men, grumpy old men." That's a great movie. Both of them were good.
Yes, it was a great movie.
But that was another movie that it was Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, who did a lot of movies in the 50s and 60s. And good comedy.
Odd Couple.
Yeah, they did Odd Couple, didn't they? Before you had Jack Klugman and Tony Randall doing it in the TV series. But that's the kind of thing I knew about them, and I can still name the movie and the actors, even though it was before my time. And it gives me a bigger frame of reference. So when I see Grumpy Old Men, I look at that, especially now, maybe not when I first saw it, but I look at it now
You
going...
appreciate it more now.
That too.
It's a classic.
It is. Literally, because it's over 20 years old. But I look at these guys who, in their prime, they were the comedy highlight. They were the heartthrob. They were the everyday man in all the movies of this 10-year block. And here they are, brought back and put into the role of grumpy old men. And a lot of the people we were raised with are now playing the old people in the movies we're watching that are coming out now. They are the elderly because they've got 10 years on us. Yeah, just the 1960s and 1970s are the new 1920s and 30s.
Yeah. Wow.
And
we're old.
It's 100 years since the 1920s.
Yeah.
It has been a century since the 1920s with the gin joints and bathtub. Go ahead.
I was at the winery that we took you to. I'll plug it. Chester Gap Cellars here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. People, check them out. It's a great place to go.
Absolutely.
There was some of us in there one evening, our age, my age. Yeah, we were talking about history in our lifetime. And it's pretty incredible when you sit down and think about it.
Yeah.
So many things are in the history books now that occurred in my lifetime. It's crazy.
That's a whole episode on itself.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap this episode up. Unless we got anything else. You got anything else for this, Ed?
Good, bro.
Okay.
We're old.
So let's get that closing. Oh, we need a closing toast. Hold on, I gotta pour a little bit of this blade and bow here. Let's say, here's to enjoying the past, guys. No matter how old it is, look into it. It's fucking interesting enough to get you here. Because your parents fucked sometime.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, like rabbits. And they put it on that 9mm, 16mm film. 9mm is a gun, not a film. All right.
And they told you not to do it.
That's right. No. Don't do it like that. Let's get the outro music. So, thanks for joining us here at the Tavern, folks. Appreciate you hanging out and throwing in your comments if you're in the live stream or sharing it with everybody if you're in the podcast. Remember, you can find us at talkofthetavern.com. You can email us at talkofthetavern@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts, your ideas, or your input in any topic or what you'd like to hear. We'll do that. Other than that, you can support us at patreon.com/TravisISivart or just tip the tavern over at coffee.com/TravisISivart. Catch you next time.
If you can't give me a tip, I'll give you a tip.
Just a tip, baby.